All your life you've been told to please others, to act the way they expect, to follow the path they've chosen. But what if I told you that living for others will only lead you to emptiness? This is a story that will open your eyes. In a small mountain village, surrounded by rice fields and streams, there lived a young man named Haru. From the time he was a boy, he was taught one thing again and again. Respect what others say. Listen to their advice. Do what they want, and you will be loved. Haru carried this teaching like a law written in stone. When his parents told him to study farming, he studied farming, even though he loved drawing shapes in the dirt more than planting seeds. When his teachers told him to memorize lessons, he obeyed, even though his heart wanted to sing poems he secretly made in his head. When neighbors said, "Work harder, don't waste time dreaming," he worked harder, hiding his dreams in silence. People praised him often. "Haru is such a good boy," they said. "He listens. He never argues. He does what he is told." Outwardly, Haru smiled. Inwardly, he felt like an empty jar that could never be filled. As he grew older, this emptiness became heavier. At night, lying under the bamboo roof of his house, Haru would whisper to himself, "Why do I feel hollow when I've done everything right? Why does it feel like my life is not my own?" But in the morning, he put on the same smile and continued obeying everyone. One day, after another long day in the fields, Haru's childhood friend Kenji came to him. Kenji was bold, carefree, and often mocked for being too stubborn. "Haru," he said, "you're always doing what they say. Don't you ever feel tired?" Haru sighed. "If I don't do what they want, they'll be disappointed, maybe even angry. I can't live with that." Kenji looked at him for a long time, then shook his head. "No, my friend, you can't live with disappointing yourself. That's the real prison." Those words pierced Haru's heart. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept hearing Kenji's voice. "You can't live with disappointing yourself." The next morning, Haru made a decision. He walked to the edge of the forest, where an old Zen master was said to live. People whispered that this master had guided many souls who were lost in confusion. With trembling hands, Haru knocked on the wooden door of the small hut. The master, with a long beard and calm eyes, welcomed him in silence. Haru poured out his heart. "Master," he said, "all my life I have lived to please others. I do everything they ask, yet I feel empty. I feel broken. Please tell me, what is wrong with me?" The master listened patiently. Then he handed Haru an empty clay jar. Without explanation, he said, "Go to the river, fill this jar, and bring it back to me." Confused, Haru obeyed. He dipped the jar into the flowing water and filled it to the brim. But as he carried it back, he noticed water leaking from a crack along its side. By the time he reached the hut, most of the water was gone. Ashamed, he lowered his head. "Forgive me, master. The jar is broken. I cannot keep it full." The master smiled gently. "Exactly. This jar is your life. You are trying to fill it with everyone else's expectations, but the cracks of your soul leak them away. No matter how hard you try, you will never feel full until you pour into it what truly belongs to you." Haru's eyes widened. "But master, if I stop living for others, won't they call me selfish? Won't I lose their love?" The master placed a hand on his shoulder. His voice was calm but firm. "Tell me, Haru, what is worse, being called selfish by others, or betraying yourself every day of your life?" Those words struck Haru like thunder. For a moment, he felt his chest tighten, and tears filled his eyes. He realized that for years he had been betraying himself, killing his dreams, silencing his voice, hiding his true soul just to win the approval of others. That night, for the first time in years, Haru searched under his bed and pulled out an old wooden box. Inside was a brush and some faded paints, his secret treasure from childhood. With trembling hands, he dipped the brush and began painting under the moonlight. Every stroke brought tears to his eyes, but also life back into his heart. For hours he painted the river, the mountains, and even the cracked jar the master had given him. For the first time, it felt alive. Days turned into weeks. Haru continued working in the fields, continued helping his parents, but he no longer buried his soul. Each evening, he painted. Slowly, word spread in the village. People came to see his art. Some laughed, saying, a farmer wasting time with colors. Others whispered, "He's lost his mind." At first, the voices heard, but Haru remembered the master's words. What is worse, being called selfish by others, or betraying yourself every day of your life? He chose not to betray himself anymore. Over time, something surprising happened. The same villagers who mocked him began to admire his paintings. A traveling merchant saw his art and offered to buy it. Soon, Haru's work was sought after far and wide. His small hut became a studio filled with light and color. He still farmed, not because he had to, but because he found a new joy in it, a connection to the earth that inspired his art. One evening, Kenji visited him, looking at a beautiful painting of the sunrise over the rice fields. He smiled. "You seem happy, Haru. Truly happy." Haru looked at his friend, his heart full. "I am. I learned that my life is not a jar to be filled by others. It's a canvas, and I am the only one who can paint on it." Haru's journey teaches us a profound truth. The need for approval is a cage we build for ourselves. But the moment you decide to honor your own soul, to paint your own canvas, you find a freedom and a fullness that no amount of praise from others can ever give you. Your life is your masterpiece. Don't let anyone else hold the brush. If you are struggling, please know you're not alone. Help is available. You can connect with people who can support you by calling or texting 988 anytime in the US and Canada. In the UK, you can call 111. These services are free, confidential, and available 24/7. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that can help you on your journey. See you next time.